Hello there, and welcome back to the KISST series. I'm Dr. O, and this is the 6th video in this series on providing high-quality, culturally affirming instruction for our historically marginalized students, especially our Black and Hispanic students. Today, I am going to round out the series by talking about the mindset required for us to consistently provide high quality instruction to our most underserved and undereducated student population. So let's jump right in. Because of anti-Black racism, Black and Hispanic students have been denied the opportunity to achieve at great levels. Now, sometimes this is discussed as an academic achievement gap, but really it's an opportunity gap. Now, this opportunity gap exists because we have all been indoctrinated to believe that Black and Hispanic students are less than and therefore deserve less than they should be afforded. And so, what does it take for us to get over the hurdle of the indoctrination of anti-Black racism on our subconscious? Because that's where it is, right? It's coming out as implicit biases because subconsciously we believe these things and haven't really been given the opportunity to unpack and disrupt the deficit and negative narratives. So in my own practice, I have realized how important it is to always be reflecting. And so by that I mean, in the moment, when I want to redirect a student or a set of students because I feel they're off task, I pause. So I have a pause practice where I kind of step back and I make sure that I'm seeing what it is I think I'm seeing. Are the students in fact off task? Is what they're doing disruptive to the learning environment? If not, I move on. If I'm going to redirect a student because I feel like that student is being disruptive, what's the best way to do that? Am I going to publicly call that student out, or am I going to pause, wait until I have the opportunity and ask the student to step out into the hallway so that I can have that private conversation with them? When it comes to lesson planning, there was a time when I wasn't lesson planning as deeply as I needed to, and I had to ask myself why, especially where I was having awful classroom experiences. It was chaotic. I was blaming students for not paying attention. But the fact of the matter is they didn't know how to pay attention or where to pay attention because I wasn't prepared. I wasn't clear on the learning objectives. The work that I was giving them was either way above what their understanding was or way below where they are in terms of their grade level readiness. And so I hadn't been doing my work, but I was blaming them, and it was just one big chaotic scene. And so I had to step back and ask myself, why aren't I lesson planning? Is it because I don't believe my students deserve a high quality planned lesson? Is it because I don't think it's going to make any difference because they're not going to pay attention anyways? What is it? And when I consistently engaged in reflecting on what it is I was doing or not doing, I did start to face and give myself the opportunity to unpack my implicit biases. We all have them. I am a Black Hispanic woman, and I'm telling you right now, we all have them. Unless you're not watching TV, right? Unless you're not on your cell phone, unless you live in a bubble, because this indoctrination, right? This anti-Black racism indoctrination, it exists in the media, and it has existed in the media for decades. So I'm talking from print media to social media and everything in between. Your cartoons, your blockbuster movies, your cable television, your TV shows, your commercials. Anti-Black racism is baked in. And so we have to be mindful that, especially in the classroom, behind those closed doors, where the power dynamic between students and teachers is in favor of this teacher, that we are being reflective practitioners. That's the mindset that's required to consistently deliver high quality, culturally affirming instruction to our most historically marginalized, underserved, and undereducated students. our Black and Hispanic students. I hope this series has been helpful, and I hope that you'll join the conversation in the comment section. What are some of your practices that help you to consistently deliver meaningful lessons that are high quality, culturally affirming, and support the educational goals that you have for your students, that your students most need, especially in a time such as this? If you're finding this series helpful, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. And make sure that when you share with a hardworking teacher colleague of yours. And we're going to go ahead and wrap up this series, but we are also going to continue keeping it simple, super teachers. That means you need to do less work and have your students doing more work, because whoever is working the hardest is learning the most. I'll see you around. Take good care. Bye.